We want to bring you now to some breaking news happening right here in Atlanta. Moments ago, Governor Brian Kemp formally called for a special session of the Georgia legislature. It is set to take place later this spring on June 17th. Now, this special session, if you've been watching our coverage of the campaign season, if you've been watching our coverage of politics here, you knew that this has been in the air as a strong possibility for some time. Now we know that the governor has formally called for this special session, and it is geared towards two specific topics. There are two specific thrusts of this special session. Both of them will be controversial. Both of them promise to feature heated debate, to use one word for it, between Republicans and Democrats in the legislature, and likely between fellow Republicans and possibly fellow Democrats. So here are the two big thrusts of this special session. First, the special session is aimed at tackling the state's response to the U.S. Supreme Court's recent Calais decision, which opened the door to redrawing congressional and legislative district boundaries, and opened the door to that conversation in states all across the country and very much right here in Georgia. The governor has effectively ruled out redrawing the congressional boundaries for this cycle, for the 2026 election cycle, pointing to the fact that the election is already underway, with early voting currently underway and was underway when Calais was released. The governor is looking to redraw those boundaries ahead of the 2028 cycle. Redrawn district map in a Republican-controlled state legislature with a Republican in the governor's mansion would likely indicate a shift that more heavily favors Republicans and more Republican-friendly drawn districts in our state. You can certainly expect Democrats to push back forcefully against that. The second topic that's at the center of this special session conversation is one that has to do with the deadline, July 1st of 2026, and it focuses on how Georgia conducts its elections. A few years ago, the state legislature passed a bill that said by July 1st of 2026, the state can no longer use QR codes to tabulate the state's election results. But what that bill did not do is specify what came next, what the new system would be. The future has now come. The state legislature, in session for 40 days, 40 lawmaking days earlier this year, failed to agree to what should be done after that July 1st deadline and gavelled out. Now the governor is calling lawmakers back to the state capitol to figure out what comes next and how Georgia handles its elections following July 1st, 2026, with major ramifications for how a pivotal midterm election in November of 2026 will be handled that features not only all of the congressional races, but also a U.S. Senate race and many statewide races, governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretary of state, and others. That will be the focus, those two topics of this special session just formally called by the governor moments ago, set to take place in just about a month on June 17th.